Yeah.
It's gonna be a
I mean,
fun
yeah,
one
it's
today.
soft with a capital T. So they say at least. Yo, what's today? Today is April 25th, 2022. Back for another episode of Man to Man Pod. I'm on half of the pod, Darius Butler, got my co-host Antoine Bethea.
What it do? What it do?
We got a lot to talk about today, man, huh?
Yeah, we got a lot, man. Obviously, man, it's draft week, so it's gonna be a lot of
NFL
dreams come
draft
true
week.
this week, man. So draft NFL draft kicks off this Thursday live in Sin City. Um, man, we got Elon Musk, man, and Twitter. I don't know what Twitter waiting on, but
Hey.
it could have some big news, some huge news
They trying to sell
coming
it now.
up.
That board that got it together said,
Hey, we talking about B's, not M's. We talking about B's.
yeah. What
Then
else we got?
obviously, with the NBA series, NBA playoffs, a lot of stuff to talk about.
Whole
Brooklyn,
lot.
Boston. You had the Denver Nuggets. Avoid that sweep last night against the
Phoenix in the dog fight right now.
Phoenix in a dog fight. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves and Memphis. They in a dog fight right
Tied
now.
up.
Um,
My Heat got Trey in the headlock.
yeah. Then you got
Mm-hmm.
Chicago and Milwaukee. Milwaukee doing what they do.
Yeah.
So man, we got a lot of basketball to talk about. We got a lot of KD. We're gonna talk about KD.
See a bus driver, a bus rider, man.
Hey,
We
we
got
got a
we
lot
got
to
to
talk about.
we got to talk
Hey,
about it. What
hey,
else, man? Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
You called this. Or this had to be last week. Maybe we were on the pod.
Yeah,
When the news came out, maybe a game for return. I was hyped. I've been optimistic about my Nets the whole time, and you was like, "Hey, chill. He right where he want to be."
yeah, he comfortable in that. Then he got a front row seat. Got one of the best seats in the house. Um,
Yeah.
like I said, to watch KD and Kyrie go out there and play ball. So definitely we gonna jump on that as well, man. It's gonna be a good show, D-Bot.
It's gonna be a good. We can't leave out F1. I know you probably wasn't paying attention, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Man, it's gonna be a good one. We'll see y'all on the other side.
Yeah.
Yo.
We back, baby.
We back, man. What you want to jump out the gate with?
Hey man, let's
Beautiful
talk.
Monday.
Let's talk some draft, man. Like you said, now it's in Sin City, man. We expected to hear some names called. It's gonna be some life changing experience for some young men. Obviously, you got a lot of your top 5, your top 10. Everybody doing their mock drafts.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about the guys that we were kind of excited for. Who you think is gonna be that number 1 pick come Thursday?
It's switching up, man. And what Aiden Hutchinson was a lot for a while.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what the books, made it seem. Now you see a lot of Trayvon Walker talk, then out of Georgia, who is more raw but freakish, athletic abilities. I don't know, man. I would go O line though. Either the kid out of
O-line?
Bama. I would go O line or the NC State tackle. I would go O line. You invested number 1 pick with Lawrence. Protect them. You got weapons. You pay for some weapons. I'm going O line. Which way you going?
Man, you looking at the team structure. like you say, you have your franchise quarterback. You definitely want to protect him.
Put
But
them
then
in
again,
quotation marks. The jury's still out for you?
George still out, buddy. Like, hey, it's rough out here. You know what I mean? It's rough out here. So, but I think he's going to be a good talent in the league. But I might gotta go on that defensive side, man. I might gotta get if I can get me a pass rusher. I agree with you. You definitely want to protect your quarterback, but if you can get you a pass rusher, we know what they do to the game. You know,
Yeah.
big homie Rob Mathis always talks about it. You know, if you got a pass rusher that can get to the quarterback, that's somebody you got a game plan for all the time. And you know, it's got a guy sitting right there.
Got a guy sitting right there, man. I go, yeah, I go tackle though. Trade Cam. Hey, just French. Can you trade a dude on the franchise?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the franchise tag Cam Robinson, but I'll still go the other way. But we'll see. It's probably gonna be a pass rusher, probably Aiden, most likely. I still think it's gonna be him. I'll be shocked if it's Walker. But
But you know, I'm highly excited, and I'm anticipating to see how many guys from the HBCU go get their name called this weekend. That's what I'm most excited about. No knock on anybody else, but
hey,
I'm tuned in.
That's only right. They
I'm
won't have that
I'm
anymore.
I'm tuned in Friday and Saturday to see how many HBCU guys get called. Um, I'm thinking at least 5 this year.
At least five?
At least 5.
I know you mentioned what, 4?
I mentioned 4. I
3,
mentioned
yeah.
Jacoby Durant from South Carolina State,
Yep.
Joshua Williams from Fayetteville, safety from FAM. I might have just said 3. Bell from FAM. I might have just said 3, but it's definitely some guy. You know, we got I think a DN linebacker from Jackson State. That's high on some guys' board, some teams' board. So I'm gonna say at least 5 this year.
At least 5, and it was obviously Prime was talking. Coach Prime, and everybody was disappointed with the lack of them being drafted last year. HBCU products. So 5, you know, I think that'd be fair. They got more exposure this year with the combine stuff, the Senior Bowl stuff. That's actually where you got to see Bell play, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of, there's been some talks of spring games, college spring games this weekend. Travis Hunter out there at Jackson State
eating,
put on the show already. But obviously, it's the 5-star recruit that committed to kind of change kind of recruiting landscape, committing to Coach Prime and Jackson State.
So he was out there eating, man. Shout out to Jackson State. I think first HBCU to have a spring game televised on ESPN. So again, man, Coach Prime, Jackson State, they continue to move the meters in the HBCU programs, man. So shout out to them.
Facts, man. USFL, you caught any of that this weekend?
I did not, man, but I seen some highlights, man.
You probably saw the same what I saw.
Yeah, my guy did teabag my man. He got to see me, man.
Right then and there.
Hey.
I wish we had that clip, but right then and there. What was? I didn't even know what was going on in that play though. What was that? A crackback?
It looked like special teams. So it looked like they was on punt return.
And so he was the gunner. Dude in the white was the gunner.
Dude in the white was in the gunner, and he was coming out to double team. You know what I'm saying? On the snap of the ball. And I don't even know like what goes through your head to make you even want to do something like that. Like,
yeah, that's some video game shit. That's some teabag shit. But that's the ultimate disrespect.
Ultimate disrespect.
Like, ultimate disrespect. We got to throw hands and feet at that point in time. All that other shit out the window. But that was crazy. That's literally the only clip I saw from the USFL this weekend.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's all I saw as well.
I didn't tap back in. I should have gave it another shot, but that first week was rough.
We got to see what the what those ratings are, man. How they looking from week 1 to week 2.
And I hope they continue to go up. I hope they continue to go up because it is guys getting shots. But man, it's tough to consistently put out a good product if you ain't got the quarterback play, you ain't got the O-line play. It's tough, man. But I'm try to give it another shot next week.
Hey, I got something I want to talk to you about. So we talked about it, right? And we talked about how Kyrie, when he went back to Boston, and how he was with the shits, and he was talking trash to the fans, right? And I was just like, yo, it's like fans get too comfortable again, and this is what I see. Fans get too comfortable. They get a drink or two in them. They feel as though they can say whatever. Cool. And I think we agreed on the part, like, the banter is cool. As long as, and for me, it's like, as long as you keep it with my play. Like, once you start getting personal, and it's not about being soft, but it's just like, yo, like, once you start getting personal, all right. I mean, that can go either way. Like, again, you just don't know. You don't know who you're talking to, what they got going on in their life, how they feeling that day. Like, you never know what that response.
What chord that can strike.
Exactly. You never know what that response is going to be. So just to keep it cool. You can talk about my game. You can talk shit about my game, how I'm playing, how I'm dressed, how I look, whatever the case may be. But when you start getting personal and you doing other things, now that's why I figured, hey, players can. Hey, if I'm the commissioner, if it get there, you do what you need to do. Fast forward to the Yankees game, right? So did you see that?
The Yankees Guardians?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
they threw
the Yankees
hit the walk off and they started throwing shit at the outfielders, right?
Yeah, they start throwing stuff at the outfielders and throwing trash at them or whatever the case may be. And obviously, you up high, the players on the field, and the fans. You looking down, you throwing them the bird. You saying what they saying.
Yeah.
Again, that they should have had a gate right there where my man could have went right up there and walked up them steps or opened that gate and see what the energy is, man. Like I
saw a clip of one of them climbing up the gate because I didn't even know it was a fence back there, but he was like climbing up the fence. And dudes up in the stands still, egging them on. But that obviously crosses every line. And at that point, it's fair game for anything. That's kind of, that's what happened with Malice in the Palace. But man, they be on one. And that's what they want. They want that interaction. Some dudes probably want to get punched in the face by a professional athlete. That's probably a goal of theirs. Like, you saw the dude messing with Mike Tyson. If there's people out there that's willing to mess with Mike Tyson, to go viral or to get a lawsuit, whatever you're trying to get, people will do anything, man. But yeah, them fans definitely cross the line. But obviously, when I was saying I like the banter, I like when fans push it to the edge. We ain't talking about that. But yeah, that shit was wild out there in New York.
Yeah, man. That's why I don't have me hot.
Yeah, that was wild. And them dudes ain't got helmets on or nothing. So you hit them in the back. Woo. But man, jumping to these playoffs.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I actually fell asleep on this game last night.
Brandon Ingram is a dog, man. Young boy out there putting in work. And it's problem. It's going to look rough for the Suns. That's what I'm going to say. It's 2-2 right now. Booker out with a hamstring. Chris Paul might have had the worst game.
Not a might have. 4 points. Like I said, I fell asleep on 4 points with Book out.
He might have had the worst game.
Let me look up this exact stat line because.
And I say this all the time on this show: momentum is a mother. Momentum is a mother. And the way the New Orleans Pelicans are playing right now, they're playing with confidence. CJ McCullough, Brandon Ingram, Hey, Phoenix, you gotta
Hey,
watch out. And this was one of D-Buck's. This was D-Buck's pick coming out of the West.
nah, absolutely not.
Who you had coming out of the West?
Golden
Oh,
State,
you
baby.
had Golden State.
Yeah,
You had
come
Golden
on,
State.
man. I've
You
been with
might
Golden
have had
State
Golden State. You might have
from
had
the
Golden
jump.
State.
I did think this Suns team would be all the way in it at the end, but obviously you lose who I think should have been a top 5 MVP candidate, at least Devin Booker. He had his team looking, even when Chris Paul was out, he had them looking solid after the right after the All-Star break when Paul missed them weeks. But Chris Paul last night without Devin Booker, 4 points. 0 points in the last 42 minutes of the game. How you go?
It's rough out there, man.
I gotta run this back. I gotta see the film. 4 points.
It's rough out there.
But come on, bro.
It's rough. It's rough out there.
And I feel like anybody we've been kind of propping up. Not we. I say people. Because this week out of nowhere, I just start randomly seeing a bunch of Chris Paul, greatest point guard of all time. Chris Paul this, Chris Paul that. Like, I love Chris Paul as a player. We done seen Chris Paul piss down his leg a few times at this point in the
Chris
game.
Paul is one of the greatest point guards to play in this league. He is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Greatest. That's up for the debate. You got a lot of great point guards that come through this league. And to your point, he's ringless right now.
It ain't just that. I don't just put ringless because that comes down to a team thing. But when you're looking at the individual player, he done tricked off a couple. This is 1-8. I know you lost D-Book, but it's a long series. They probably get past this. D-Book probably come back. Hopefully they go on a run, but
CP3, man, one of the greatest point guards. One of the greatest point guards. We ain't gonna do that. He's one of the greatest point guards. But greatest
said that.
Greatest? Nah, that's up for debate. And
you gotta be honest though.
No, definitely gonna be honest. But
I'm just saying we can't have.
I just think people would just be out. Folks be out here disrespecting folks, and their resume based off of maybe a game or a series, and I just saying I ain't gonna jump on that bus.
Respect Chris Paul, great point guard, outstanding career.
Tone said they frauds. Phoenix Suns is frauds.
I mean, no, I wouldn't call them frauds. That Pelicans team, that's a good team.
A good mob.
That's a good mob. You got GTA, Grand Theft Alvarez out of Georgia Tech. He a problem defensively. Obviously, you talk about Ingram. You talked about CJ. The boys hooping though, man. They got a mob over there.
Nah, no doubt.
But yeah, it's 2-2. Another series 2-2. It's the 2-7 series. Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves. A lot of people were looking forward to this series. I know I was. Cat bounced back. D'Lo hooping out there.
Yeah,
young boy Anthony Edwards. This has been a good series though. How you feel about this series?
I think this might be one of the. There's been a lot of good. I think it's one of the best series going on right now. Again, you got two young cats leading their teams. Memphis, Ja, they out there balling. To your point, Minnesota, they out there doing their thing. Got a good team. So with this matchup, I like this matchup. I think this might go to 7.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Who you got though? You got to pick Memphis or Minnesota. Who you going with?
I know you took Memphis. That was your pick coming out of the West.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Minnesota, man. I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I mean, Cat just got to be consistent, man. Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns, like if he's consistent, just consistently aggressive, because obviously they took Adams out of the main rotation in Memphis, so you got a little less size on the court, but you got to be more aggressive inside, outside, and more consistent more than anything. I like Edwards. Love what Russell's doing at the point guard position. And Ja really hasn't been Ja this this series so far, but he can turn it on. He can turn it on and average 35 for the rest of the series. So hey, I'm going Minnesota.
Okay, we're gonna see. Definitely a good series though. Great
Yeah,
series.
I'm going Minnesota.
Two of the top young dogs in the league going at it, man. So we're gonna see. I'm going Memphis though. I'm gonna take Memphis.
Golden State, Denver, 3-6. This is my pick coming out of the West. Golden State, Denver. Joker got him one. Got him a game. Big buckets down the stretch. But not really Joker. Some of his some of his running mates. Morris had a big floater late. Bones had a nice move before. Somebody who hit that dagger from the corner.
It was damn, I had brain fart.
Yeah, but somebody hit the dagger from the left corner. Somebody put it in the chat. But Denver got one, man. They got one.
Yeah.
I still got Golden State at 5 and 6 in this one, but they fought. They got. How you feel about this series?
Yeah, Golden State at 5. Then they go back to
Morris.
They go back to the Bay.
I said Barton.
It was Barton. Yeah, it was Barton. They're gonna go back to the Bay. They're gonna close it out 4-1, and then they'll have them a nice little break, and get some rest and get ready for the next series, next round.
Golden State convinced. They show you anything? They change your mind at all about their chances to win the title this year after this first series with Steph coming off the bench, Poole doing what he's doing. I know the sports books. They may be like the second or third favorite now to win it all. Last I checked. But how you feel about their chances?
I think Poole, man. I think Poole, he just kind of changes the whole dynamic of that team, man. Obviously, we know what Steph can do, what Clay can do, what Draymond. You still got Wiggins, but I think with Poole and what he's been doing, he changed the whole dynamic of that team. So obviously, they're playing really, really good ball. I don't know. I still won't put them as my front runner to win the chip, though.
Who your front runner right now?
Man,
that's actually a good question. I don't even know mine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't say I would have one at the moment, but if I had to say somebody, I'm gonna go Milwaukee.
Milwaukee running it back.
Running it back, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Chris Middleton, he can get back in there. But I just like the bus driver, man. Giannis, man. I like the bus driver.
Hey, he's for sure on that bus driver list. I'm gonna stick with Golden State.
I like the bus driver, man. On the offensive end, he just dropped. He just had 30-something, 15 boards.
Consistent.
The energy hot. Hey.
Lost his running mate, Chris Middleton. He's part of that big three.
He
out
rocking
for a few weeks. Still rocking. So, and we had this conversation maybe at the beginning of this season and the last about Giannis being in that conversation. You was barely letting him in that conversation. Has he finally? Because he won on my list at this point.
Who Giannis?
Giannis, yeah. I would if you told me best player in the league would have to be Giannis. I think Embiid, I give him the MVP this year. I think he earned that this year. But the best player in the league, Giannis would be that one spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that. Giannis, well, like you said, Joel's been rocking. Joker been rocking. He got a lot of guys, but if I had to say right now, it's like, look, it's a team, and with their leader gonna take their team to the chip and win it. The only person I can look at is Giannis right now.
Ooh, that's a statement. I know Embiid banged up.
The only person I'm looking at is Giannis right now.
No Tatum? Tatum looking good right now.
Are you listening to what I'm saying, but the only person that I'm looking at and I'm having full confidence that they can take their mob to the chip and win it is Giannis.
They up 3-1 right now in the 3-6 series over the Chicago Bulls. Like we said earlier, Middleton is out. Giannis, he the best player in the league to me. AB's betting favorite right now to win it all. All money in on the Greek Freak, man.
Hey,
But his mindset is what
it's different.
separates. Yeah, it was what
Yeah,
separates him. He's kind of
yeah.
a throwback a little bit, but in a mutant's body, man. So the way he plays hard on both ends of the court, what he did in that finals performance last year, I was up here as far as ones that I've witnessed. So yeah,
And then come
I
back
can't
this
I can't
year,
argue with you there.
and then you come back this year, and the level of your play does not drop. Like to me, it's like he's coming back. He's pulling up at three with confidence.
He
You know what
getting
I'm saying?
better.
So you could tell
He's still getting better.
he's working on his game, and he still has. And the crazy thing about it is like you see his game, and it's still room for improvement.
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing. You know what I mean? And then for me, it's just the attitude. The attitude
Mm-hmm.
on both ends. You know what I mean? And you said it before on this pod. When your best player is going out there and doing the things that he's doing, the guys behind him, they have to do that. You know what I'm
Got to.
saying? So when it's a clear case of you leading by example. It's not all that rah-rah talking, all this, whatever the case may be. He's
Yeah.
going out there and showing you what a leader looks like.
Perfectly said. We briefly spoke on this. 1-8. It's looking like a 1-8 series. Trae Young struggling. I think he had 9 points last night. Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Playoffs, whatever you want to call him, he's getting the job done. We did lose Kyle Lowry. I want to get him back in the lineup, but we got we got some dogs out there all around the court to play the game the right way. Jimmy's definitely driving this bus. Yeah, Jimmy driving this bus at this point. But a good mob, a good team, a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlanta, Atlanta's still young. They're still young. I know Trae Young is a phenomenal young talent. But this is where you learn. It's different, obviously, on this level. It's more so about teams. And that's what you picked. Obviously, Bucks are a good team, great player. I'm going with the Warriors. I feel like they're the team. They done been there before. They done dealt with different series, know how to win different ways. But yeah, Atlanta just got some growing to do. But Miami handling business. What's your take on this series?
No, I'm with you on that, man. Miami, again, great team, great coach. Hold each other accountable, obviously, as we saw on a clip before the playoffs started. UD getting into it with Jimmy Butler, and you need that accountability. So you just know in that locker room, it's a tone that's set in that locker room, and I appreciate that. Trae Young, like you said, great young player. All the greats had to go through it. Go through those ups and downs, get to the playoffs, losing early, just knowing how to win. Obviously the regular season is one thing, but when you get to the playoffs, it turns it up just a little bit, just a little bit. So eventually, he'll learn from this. I'm not sure what a organization will go if they'll be able to get over that hump. But Trae Young, man, I like the dog in him. I like it.
Yeah, definitely like the dog, like the mindset. They've been roughing him up too. They've been making it a physical. And this year, I feel like was one of the more physical years of late in the NBA. Just the regular season, and the postseason, it's been the same way. I think that's playing a role in how the Celtics been guarding KD and Kyrie. Definitely playing a role in this series with how they're playing against Trae Young. Like they you gonna get it. Like you gonna get bumped. You gonna get even Minnesota with Ja. Like Ja, he on the ground a lot.
Yeah.
And that wears on you as any player, but especially when you're a smaller player. But yeah, they handle the business out there. 3-1. Hopefully close it out down here at the crib.
Yeah.
Rest up. Because they bump into Milwaukee again. We got real beef with them. Swept us last year.
As y'all should. It whooped y'all ass. As y'all should. Shoot, Philadelphia and Toronto, man. 76ers. I thought they was going to sweep Toronto, but they was able to get them a win.
Same.
4-5, but I think 76ers close this out. They'll win. They'll win in 5. What you think? What you think about this series?
I'm right there with you. Obviously, just a little concern with Embiid's thumb. Because, those things, sometimes they can get worse with time and play. Sometimes they stay the same. He said he's going to try to play through it and get surgery in the offseason, but that's obviously a concern, even though he's had an MVP year, because I don't trust Harden like that. And like he hasn't been looking like, the same. Maxey been looking like their second best player.
Yeah.
So if I had that faith in Harden to be like, all right, you got to step up and be the one, I would feel differently. But Maxey may have to step into that role until Embiid's feeling a little better. But I still like him to win this series 4-1. I'm right there with you, closing it out in 5. And you saw Joel walking off the court last time because he wasn't getting a lot of calls and kind of clapping like for the refs, sarcastically. So I think he's gonna come out with a little chip on the shoulder.
Yeah,
and
close it out.
Done. Yeah. I think Van Vliet, he got hurt this game too. I'm not sure if he'll make a return. I didn't see an update on it, but Scotty Barnes been dealing with his ankle injury. Rookie of the year, Scotty Barnes. He hasn't been healthy, so they got even healthy though. I would have took the.
That would have been tough. Yeah, it would have been a tough match for Toronto.
But this series right here, I think this got to be the biggest surprise. Not you, Siri, but this series right here, man, it's got to be the biggest surprise for a lot of people. Not you,
for a lot of y'all,
but for a lot of us, because I was at the front of this KD, Kyrie, fan club, train, whatever you want to call it. Like, this is who I thought I wasn't betting against going into the playoffs. But down 3-0, 2-7 matchup, down 3-0. You kind of called it going into this series, man. How you feel about? You think they get one? You think they get swept? What's the ramifications for KD, Kyrie? On the other side.
Honestly, I think this will go. It'll be 4-1. I think Brooklyn wins tonight. At home, I think they go back to Boston 3-1, and Boston will close it out 4-1. I think they really going to fight hard not to get swept. They're going to fight. They're going to claw. But this is what I thought was going to happen in this series. Like, I don't understand. Like, I understand.
You saw it going like this?
Look at here. I told you Boston was a better team. I told you from jump. It's 1 and a 2, and you don't have no 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on Brooklyn. So you were putting all your eggs in the basket with Kyrie and KD. And I told you on this podcast that Kyrie and KD will have to play exceptional every game. Neither one of them could have an off night. And obviously, as you see, KD, he's not having a great series. On the flip side, Boston has a team. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got 2 dogs, Tatum and Brown. You got Marcus Smart. You got a great young coach, and you got Al Horford still out there balling.
Quality minutes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you got a team where the role players are playing their roles. They're coming to play. They're scrappy on the defensive end. It's no easy shit for KD or Kyrie. You got KD mom on the sideline going crazy. Get off my baby. Like, don't hit my baby like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's wicked. It's wicked right now. It's really wicked right now. And again,
it's a coaching mismatch from hell.
Hey, and D Butt was on this podcast like, man, give me
Coach
KD
Udoka.
and Kyrie every day. Give me KD and Kyrie every day. I said, yeah, on the 2-on-2 tournament. But shit, like 5-on-5, hey.
Look, man, it makes sense now. Hindsight is 50-50, like Cam said, man. But
I'm listening.
If I had to do it again, I'm betting on Kyrie and KD going into the series again. I would do it again. But obviously I haven't learned, man. That first game, Kyrie, letting that one slip through their hands on the back of that Kyrie performance. KD didn't really show up game 1. But on the back of that Kyrie performance, really hurt him. And the defensive game plan, the defensive execution has been flawless up to this point. Even when KD, Kyrie getting good looks, they're not hitting them. But they're really getting good looks. They're getting roughed up. So Coach Udoka, he's been, the shit don't look close. I don't know what Nash doing over there. Steve Nash and Ben Simmons, They saying they might start charging the boys for them seats. But
Hey.
on the other side, it's a master class. And you said 2 dogs. I go 3. Marcus Smart, like, play some good basketball. You know what I mean? And defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Like he's like their version of like a Draymond Green, but I can't say give you more on the offensive end because I think Draymond does a lot to make that offense work, not really including shooting, but I would say that's like their Draymond Green. So
I agree.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
It's ugly, man. It's ugly, man. And you know, and I'm never the type because again, who knows? Well, who knows what can happen?
Is this a legacy series for KD? Does this impact his legacy? So keep it real, bro. Keep it real. This is a locker. We said we're gonna be authentic. We said we're gonna be honest. We said we're gonna be real on this fucking podcast.
Yep.
Now, we sitting in 41 locker and 20 locker. We like, hey, bro. Yep. Boys down 3-0 right now, bro. It should look ugly. This shit ugly right there, huh?
Ugly.
Huh? What does this? He obviously stamped. He's a great all-time great. But when we look at the whole legacy,
what you saying then? Now, you said it right there. He's an all-time great. He stamped. When people, if he gets swept, people will come back to this series. And what I was saying. So last night we was having to bring everybody in. So Chuck had a comment.
Hold on. We might have a little clip.
See if you got the
people
clip.
That don't. Yeah, he'll be. Yeah, it's a little short one. Hope we don't get flagged on it. Here we go.
These guys walk around with these championship rings. Hey, y'all bus riders. But let me tell you something.
Row, Chuck.
When you're the bus driver and you got all that pressure where you have to play well or you're going to get the blame, that's a different animal.
So listen here.
Animal.
So it was more to the clip that we were talking about. So Chuck was saying it's bus drivers, and riders, right? And I agree with that. And Chuck was like, you can't call yourself a great player and you averaging 20 points in the playoffs. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
He then said that you can't be around here calling yourself a champion if you're not the bus driver. I disagree with that. The next thing, I guess he was alluding to the fact that he feels as though KD is a bus rider and not a driver.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't driven to a championship. I think what Chuck is saying basically is saying like, all right, obviously it's all-time greats. Everybody knows the all-time greats, but usually what kind of puts people in that upper echelon is championships. And what he's saying is like, nah, he don't feel that same way about KD as he may feel about Wade or Kobe or Bird, Giannis. He may not necessarily feel that way. He on Golden State, you can even say, all right, KD was the best player on Golden State. You can say that he was the best offensive weapon on Golden State. But you came to a bus that was already already on back-to-back championship, appearances, 2 MVPs, like. So, like, you got OKC and then Brooklyn. And what me and a lot of other people expected, hey, we're going to see KD drive this bus and they're going to be in it, and it ain't been that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's more so what he was saying as opposed to like, hey, you can't call yourself a champion. He obviously a champion. You win the rings, you're a champion. But has he been a bus driver on a championship team? I think the answer would be no.
And I'm going to disagree. Where
did it happen?
So he was. Okay, I wasn't a fan of him going to the Golden State Warriors. I was not. Like
nobody was. Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't even play with them on 2K. Like that wasn't
right. So I felt as though like, nah, you can't make that move. He made the move, right? And you said it. He was the best player on that team. Granted,
I mean, yeah. When you play with the 2 greatest shooters of all time, and
I mean, we can't do nothing about that.
I mean, I'm not saying anybody could have done that, but an MVP, one of the best scorers in the league, one of the best scorers ever. You come into a team with the two greatest shooters of all time. You know, like we expected Kevin Durant to go in there and do that.
Yeah, and again, on that team, again, I'm not saying that I was not a fan of the move, but him going on that team, you lined him up. I'm like, damn, KD, he's the best player on this team. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's the best player on the team.
Okay.
Right? And they win a chip. Regardless of what they had before he got there. Like, that's the thing that I just can't, like, either, how many time MVP?
2 times. Both
championship.
He was a finals MVP.
Finals MVP. Like, you driving the bus. Now, again, when you look back on the history, this series is people gonna say something about this. Like, yo, like you pissed down your leg.
Yeah.
You pissed down your leg. This could have been a time in your career where you could have really elevated yourself, where people trying to put you on the same plateau as LeBron. Nah. Like, if LeBron was in this situation, it would not. I don't think it would be a 3-0 situation right now. And the way KD is playing. And it's not even the fact that it's 3-0, but it's the way he's playing. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and say KD's not a bus driver. Does this series look horrible? Looks horrible. It looks horrible. I will say that. His shit looks real bad. But I can't sit here and say that off of one series, we're going to sit here and say KD's not a bus driver, where a month ago.
I picked him, bro. A week ago.
A week ago, we saying he one of the top 10.
A week ago, I'd have picked him. He probably, but, bro, like, we got to look at, just like that offseason last year changed your mind about Giannis, or changed my mind at least. You got to go out there and prove. You got to go out there and do it. And I can't say he was a driver in Golden State, bro. Not like. I don't think in your heart of hearts you could say that either. Yeah, you could say he was the best player. Some people may say Steph.
So real talk, we could say Draymond Green is the bus driver over there in Golden State.
Nah, he the heart and soul. He the all that other stuff, intangibles, all that stuff. Soul, we can't say bus driver when we had the unanimous MVP over there. We can't do that.
But you just
cannot do that.
But you just said that KD was the Finals MVP, 2-time MVP. He's not a bus driver. So, explain it to me.
Steph Curry. Okay, let's just talk about the drivers, the bus drivers.
Yeah.
Steph is on that list. Steph, Dirk, Wade, Bron. Who else in the KD era? Giannis. I would give it to I would put Kawhi on that list if Kawhi gave us a 4-year stretch, but he didn't do it long enough. He wasn't that guy long enough because one of the things Chuck said, and that was in that clip, like, hey, the pressure got to be on you. So if y'all don't play well, this shit ain't happening. Like, everything's gonna come back to you. And you can't do that. You can't do that, bro. That was a 73-win team. That was a team that was in the championship back-to-back years. And you added the best scorer in the league to that team, like.
So again, like I'm trying to understand, like the bus. Like,
bro, stop acting confused, bro. You know what he said, bro.
This is
because you know what he said. It's not like he's saying something about KD that he not also saying about himself. Like, look Chuck couldn't drive it. He couldn't get the bus to the championship either without.
So this
he tried too.
This is what I'm saying, right? You've been in the locker room, right?
Yeah.
You've been in the locker room, right? And sometimes your bus drivers, your real bus drivers, aren't the guys or women that necessarily drop in the 30, the 50. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at it as a team player. I know sometimes my bus driver is not the best player on the team necessarily. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes. Not all the time. So in a LeBron case, we know solidified stamp, he's your bus driver. Kobe Bryant, we know solidified, like he's your bus driver. Like Giannis in the Milwaukee Bucks.
And then it was Shaq. When it was Shaq and Kobe, Shaq was the bus driver.
So with that, like I think it could be an argument with the Shaq and Kobe situation.
If you watch them games, and people will argue that. I feel like Kobe fans will argue that. But objectively, you're looking at that team and that three-peat. Shaq was driving the damn bus. And Kobe was doing everything. He was right there next to him. MJ, shit, he was driving. Scotty was right there next to him. Like, it's hard to get to the championship. So it's not like Barkley was saying something that, he's done or he throwing, like, just like, hey, that ain't the separator. Because if you put an all-time list together, you got to be honest, though, bro.
Look, with the Kobe and Shaq,
who's over who? KD over Bird? You putting KD over Bird? Or you putting Bird over KD?
I'm putting Bird over KD.
Okay.
Bird was the driver, like
that exactly, and he was the but. So it's no confusion. Even the great teams and he was the driver, bro.
Yeah, because who else was there? Like, you got Kevin McHale, you got Parrish, but Bird is Bird. Like, it was no comparison. He didn't have any other MVPs on his team. He didn't have that. Bird was Bird. He didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it definitely was no argument on that. But
I just feel like it was nothing KD could have did to go to Golden State and be considered a bus driver. That's how I honestly feel about it. If you want the honest opinion.
I'm with you, but I
73 wins, bro.
D-Butt, like I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that move. But he go over there, he the best player on the team at that time.
All right. We can argue. But I guess we agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, once again, Kevin Durant, all-time great. Probably top 12, 15? Yeah.
KD?
Yeah. Top 12, 15?
I definitely give him that. And like I said, like this series, he gets swept. That's a big flaw in your resume, a huge flaw in your resume. But I don't know, man. Like, top 15 player, you're not a bus driver. Top 15 in the history of the game, and you're not a bus driver.
Championships. For me, championships they're not everything. Like we're looking at. As far as talented players, he's one of the most talented players I've ever seen play the game of basketball as an individual player. Now, once again, it's something that kind of puts guys in that other category. Jordans, the Birds, Magic, Kobe's, Bronze. That a separation.
No, it's definitely like people say, it's levels to it, right? And it is like that's a definitely interesting conversation to have. I think we could talk about this for a long time.
Big NBA show today, man. But the playoffs are here. The playoffs are exciting. This is the best time for me, at least, to watch basketball. And this is, in all sports, this is where legacies are made, man.
It is.
It's exciting to watch.
It is.
Speaking of some excitement in the playoffs, I know you saw the security guard by now tackle another protest in Minnesota. I had to do some research and actually find out what the hell they were protesting. They got my attention with this one. I'm like, all right. I got to go check it out now. But apparently the old owner, I think, actually killed a bunch of chickens in an inhumane fashion because they had the bird flu. So that's what they're protesting. But I gotta
shoot the gap, baby. Hey,
but peep though.
Hey, play it back. Shoot the gap, get skinny. Ooh. We got skinny.
But he had it lined up the whole time though.
That's what I was saying. Like he was like, he must have knew something Well, he
something was
she must have
off.
been saying something was off.
So,
Just skinny. Ooh.
Got him. Run your feet on
Hey,
contact. Secure. And then they just drug her ass up out of there too.
I don't
But
like him. I don't like him tackling high. I wish he would have been more. You know what I'm saying? In between,
you know,
like
I think that was they grew up different, man. That was a very safe tackle right there. He cuffed, protected the head on contact.
he did run his feet. He did run his feet. But
You
I
ran
like the way he.
his feet
I like the way he.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think. Go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning.
I wish you could pause it. Yeah.
Go back to the beginning.
Oh.
Boom. So he got skinny and he turned his shoulder so he couldn't have all the surface level. You could really turn it. Ooh.
Bro, hey, he
ran that up quick.
He ran that in his head. You know, before you make a big play, you see yourself making that play at some point.
Yeah.
All right, he gonna look here. I'm gonna get out this hash. Boy, I'm gonna make this play. I'll make this hit. Whatever. He played that in his mind. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. Nah.
Something don't look right.
He did his thing on that one. He did his thing.
Something
But what was she
right.
going to do once she got on the court? What was she going to
do? She had on a referee jersey underneath. You couldn't see it. Maybe he peeped that. I don't know. But she had a whole NBA referee jersey underneath her shirt. But he peeped something.
People are crazy.
He was locked in. Something was off. He ran that play in his mind a couple times. But that boy
that was some film study.
Got skinny.
That's film study.
Woo.
You see a formation, you know what I mean? Second down, and that's doing throughout the week. You watching film, and okay, this is gonna be the play that I'm gonna make my big play this week.
Hey, matter of fact, you know what? We're gonna have, like we talked about earlier, draft weekend. Obviously, it's gonna be obviously lives change, but it's just the beginning. A lot of these players will be drafted in positions lower or higher than they deserve to be. But once you get in there, it's all about what you do, how much game you soak up, how confident you play, really. And the confidence, that's really what separates people on that level, in my opinion. The confidence when you actually hit that grass on Sunday. And the only way you get there is A, knowing what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
Or B, just being that much better than everybody else out there. And I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't that many cats out there. Probably what would you say, about 5% of the league? Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, who just really go out there and just.
Yeah, I would say probably a little less.
A little less.
Yeah. Because
so my number be around 4 or 5, around 4. Okay, I'm 4 or 5%.
I would say in my 14 years, I only seen one guy not practice and go out there and do it. One guy.
In 14 years.
In 14 years, and I'm saying not practice and go out there and do it at a level like he practiced the whole week. I seen one guy in 14 years.
Let me guess who that guy was. Was it early in your career or later in your career?
Early.
Freeney?
No. Well, I could add him on the list, but the one Bob Sanders.
Word. I would have definitely thought he was a. Yeah.
Hey, I'm talking about not practice all week and Sunday go out there and have 2-3 tackles for loss, 12 tackles. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong when I say that. Like, obviously the game is brutal, so it's definitely guys that don't practice or take, or might just do one period.
Manage their body
and go out there and play good. You know what I'm saying? But to what you were saying, it's like it's a small percent of guys who can just go out there and like turn the switch on. You know what I mean?
And what I'm saying, guys that really just, don't have to really apply themselves much outside of, like outside the building, really. Like they come in, they practice, they walk through the meet, and then they just walk out and they just go out. It ain't more.
Okay,
it ain't
don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not saying that Bo didn't do because he took care of his body and he was, So I'm not saying that.
So he's not even in that. Yeah,
he's not even in that. So so like I say definitely less than 5%.
Yeah. So, like I said, so you heard AB,
Yeah.
14-year vet, definitely less than 5%. I said 5%, and I was being gracious, but so the other 95% of us, you got to apply yourself in that meet room and that iPad to stick around and to play at a high level. But what we were talking about, anticipating plays, obviously we were making jokes of it from that security guard out in Minnesota. And you mentioned kind of formation, other stuff like that. What were like 3 things for a young player, or even an older player? 3 things that would be your, all right, I know what's coming. Like what 3 things kind of had to add up, 2 or 3 things?
I would say the first thing was that 9 times out of 10, your key players are going to be in their positions, in their spots. So if you had a receiver, he's an X or he's a Z or whatever the case may be, and for some reason he's in the slot, antennas are up. Antennas are up, and I'm focusing on that. So really, for me, it was formation recognition, and player recognition. Like, where are these players lined up? They're not supposed to be here. Something is wrong. Why is this player off the ball when typically in this position he should be on the ball? You know what I'm saying? So those are the things. Those are the things at safety I'm looking at. Like, okay, Larry Fitzgerald is never there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a reason why he's there. You know what I'm saying? And then again, it's film study. Film study is what gets you to make those plays. I don't care what else anybody else can tell you. If you're not watching film, you're not gonna make as many plays as you should. Now, off the instinct, off the grace of God, you know, you'll make a play here, you'll make a play there. But when you talk about
just being out there, you're gonna make plays.
There, right?
You know
but when you talk about the guys that are consistently making huge plays, the big interceptions, getting to the ball quicker than everybody else, it's because they're watching film. They're realizing that the formation is different, or they're realizing that, okay, they're getting to these formations that I've seen all week differently, where it could be shifts, it could be motions, it could be resets, and resets are they come out and they line up in one formation, and then you see two or more guys move before they snap the ball. And then from there they can get to a different way. So again, you got to watch as much film as you possibly can, and you take 2 to 3 nuggets into the game. Don't try to go into the Sunday know everything.
Facts.
Don't try to go and know everything. You get your 2 to 3 keys or clues, and from there, man, you play ball.
He said it. Don't try to know everything. Like they say, you see a little, you see a lot. That's kind of the same way with game plan. But those 2 obviously very, very important things for the people listening. Formation recognition. What's up?
Nah, go ahead and finish it, because I want to ask you a question.
Well, I was just about
to get to it.
Repeat what you said, but formation rec and just know where the key players are. So if it's a guy that usually lines up at X, he's a Z or he in the slot, hey, put your antennas up. Now, if it's a guy that always moves around, obviously that's a little tougher to do, but do your job, do your research, make some plays out there. But what we got to get to?
Yeah, it's a perfect segue. Talking about a guy that moves a lot, Debo Samuel. San Francisco 49ers, obviously going through what they're going through. He kind of mentioned before, like, he wants to be considered as a strictly wide receiver. Obviously, when you go to the negotiation table, the receivers, as everybody's seeing right now, they getting that bag, they getting that money, and he deserves every penny for whatever he gets. I think you said that, you definitely feel why he wants to be considered strictly a receiver. I was like, man, hey, look, it's the reason why we talking about Debo the way we talking about Debo.
That's what made him special.
That's what made him special, being that he could play receiver, he can line up wide, he can line up in the slot, he can line up in the backfield. I know a lot of people were saying, well, at that receiver, he's not taking as many hits as when he line up in the backfield, and that's 100% true.
Yep.
But if he lines up at receiver, are we talking about Debo? If he strictly lines up at the receiver position, are we talking about Debo Samuel like we talk about Debo Samuel now?
I mean,
not saying that we
That's hard to say. I think it depends on what quarterback he's playing with and his wide receiver. So that's one of the most dependent positions. So if you are in a system that's using you the right way, you got a player that's been getting you the ball. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But maybe Trey Lance being a new quarterback is part of it. He's like, man, I ain't trying I seen enough. That's not what I'm trying to do right now. And going into a contract year. Wow. These guys are getting 25 plus 70 million guaranteed. I'm not trying to go into my contract year like this. And you're taking that beating on your body. Like I said, I may have kept this to myself until I got that money, because to your point, that's why we're talking about Debo the way we are. So he may not be this valuable again. So right. I would have probably kept that part to myself until after I got paid and be like, hey, I'm cool on all that running back shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if he gets with the right quarterback, I think he can still potentially be a top 5 type wide receiver in the league for sure. Because he one of them guys, you just get the ball in his hand, like at the line of scrimmage, intermediate. He got good enough speed to break away and make big plays. So
strong runner. Man.
Strong with that. Like DBs, like he winning those matchups most times open field against DBs. So it's your money, young man.
No doubt.
It's your bread, man. Somebody, I saw this little video Tone put in. Somebody out there trying to do their part.
Yeah, I saw that. He was like, nah.
No, out of there. Somebody doing their part though. But man, so predictions: Nets, Celtics tonight.
I say no. I say the Nets come out and they get them one.
Ben said it just popped up on my TV. Ben Simmons back, ruled out for Game 4.
I told you, man. I told you he just looked way too comfortable. Like, come in with the fits, sit down, laughing and joking on the sideline. And look, I know it's a lot of people out here. Before we got on the podcast, we were saying like, yo, Ben Simmons soft, right? Like, I'm not gonna call the man soft.
Yeah, you was like, I don't want to jump to that.
Like, I'm not gonna jump to that. Like, he dealing with a back issue. Like, I think everybody who's had a back injury know that back is serious. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there to say he's soft. And again, in the locker room,
in the locker room.
You do what you do.
In the locker room, this news, you get the text last night, or you get the text, whatever. Y'all in the hotel, y'all wherever your text come through. Hey, Ben just went to the trainers and said, shit tighten up. He ain't gonna be able to go tomorrow. Your immediate reaction, man, that motherfucker soft as shit. That's exactly what you're gonna say.
My shit gonna be like, man,
that motherfucker soft as shit.
I'm like, man, I knew this motherfucker wasn't gonna play anyway. Like my that's what I'm saying. My expectations were there. I'm going to the play. I'm already expecting Ben Simmons probably not gonna rock, yo. Like,
man,
like I'm truly honestly probably like, yo, Ben Simmons not playing this year.
They say it's a herniated disc. And like you said, it's hard to say, but I just feel like he was scheduled to play. If this is 2-2 series or 2-1 series, he probably out there, 1-2 the other way. I think he out there. Maybe the team shouldn't even been considering putting him out there in the first place in the middle of a playoff series after missing however many months of basketball.
Yeah, you ain't played all year. Like,
yeah, you're gonna put that's the same thing they were saying about Zion. You're gonna drop him in the middle of a playoff series. Like we talked about earlier, this is a different level of intensity. All sports go to a completely different level when it's playoff time. So maybe it was the best form.
And Boston whooping your ass. Like you think Ben Simmons gonna come in there and stop the bleed and stop this ass whooping?
Never know. One player could change the series.
One player that ain't played all year, coming off a back injury.
Hey, Hey, but Durant averaging 22, shooting 36% so far, 17 turnovers, most in a 3-game span in postseason career. So we know KD read Twitter a lot. So you know he's gonna have some fuel to come out. I mean, it's been ugly for him all series.
I think KD gonna come out. I think KD and Kyrie gonna come out and they're gonna ball. I think this is the one game that they'll get, and then I think it goes to Boston and they close it out.
I picked the Nets coming into this. I'm gonna stick with them.
Hey, got to.
I'm gonna stick beside them.
Got to.
Nets is 7.
You hold on, say that again, but say it with a little bit more confident. Say it again, but say it with a little bit more confident. I don't think. I know I didn't believe.
I said they get 2. They go get 2.
Okay.
I just gotta hold on to hope, man. I just gotta hold on to hope. Man, Boston looks good. Boston look damn good.
They do.
Damn, I wouldn't be surprised at a sweep. Wouldn't be surprised. I thought, man. Nets is 7 though. I'm gonna stick with it.
Nets is 7. Right, hey, shout out to all the bus drivers, man. You know what I'm saying? Not only in sports, man, but in life, man. At your job. You know what I'm saying? You driving the bus, you know what I'm saying? And if you're a rider, be the best rider. Like everybody can't be bus drivers. You understand? Like
it's only one driver.
It's only one driver.
Sometimes 2, depending on depending on the dynamic. But
then,
like
where
you said,
see 2 drivers at? Where
nothing
they
wrong.
Be having 2 drivers at?
Airplanes. I think trains. I'm not sure how train conductors work, but sometimes it's 2 drivers.
Oh, okay. I need one of them cars.
Tesla, they got autopilot.
Autopilot.
But yeah, hey, like AB said, nothing wrong with being a bus rider either. Nothing wrong with that
at all.
And actually, that brings me to a quote. I was reading the book. No such thing as bad teams, only bad leaders. And good leaders cultivate other leaders. So wherever you are in that leader, just be good in it, man.
Yeah.
But I should have put that bus driver list out. You ain't had your list. But we out of here, man. We ain't get my F1 stuff, man. Damn. But we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Out of here.